Hey everybody, this is Grace, and in this video I'm going to talk about e-beggars, mainly the type that guilt, shame, ridicule, on and on their subscribers. Whatever social media it is, does it? It's not just one. I've seen it on plenty. I had like I've said, I had my first computer in 1982. I've seen plenty of these things, these kind of scams. Now I see e-begging and scammers is the same, but their approach can be different, and of course they can be different in anything. Like I mentioned before, I think it was on the phone, and I'd answered the phone thinking that it was Adam. Maybe had broken down, called from a store, number I didn't know, and I think it was before. I could be wrong about that. Before hours, these other places can call. Anyway, the guy, basically it was a guy and then a woman, and they were saying that there was a warrant out for me or something like that. And I knowing that there would be no cause for that for me, I just hung up and called the police. Okay, and the police officer that, he said it was a scam, which I already knew by then. Had figured that one out. And but they can do it, in anything. This one is about social media. Okay, and I've done videos on this before, and the last time I think it was on the channel that I no longer use, so it's on private. But I don't know how many months ago it was. But it goes in cycles, and that's what I mentioned in that video, that they can do it all year long, but especially around the holidays in the summertime, they get worse. So okay, and to me their behaviors are narcissistic. I'm not making this, I'm not a diagnosis, but the behavior is. It's just easier to say narcissistic. But it's abusive. It's all this, these kinds of things. They're con artists and on. But I have seen some, and I even asked Adam about this because I told him I had a vague memory of this from many years ago. And of course, it wasn't online, but it could have been actually. But Adam had a vague memory too. He knew what I was talking about. I've known him for 36 years, so yeah, it was probably the same thing. And it's basically when they verbally attack and ridicule people to get money from them, saying that that basically the people owe them, and they'll even make fun of their children. The fact that they had children and what they can afford to give them money, what are you doing having children kind of mentality. And that is the lowest of the low to me, is when somebody will take food from clothing, whatever, from somebody's child or children, and that to me that's the the whole thing. They are more important than those people's children, and if they're not more important, then you have a problem. It's you. It's always that finger pointing at you, saying you're the one with the problem, and that they deserve it. Goodness, they go to any extreme. Okay, now they can use that, to shame, to ridicule, to make other people look bad. That the other people have the children, but they can use their own children to try to guilt people into giving them money. Okay, they know no bounds. There's no boundaries, no bounds with this. It's all about them. They deserve it. They see that everybody's money is their money. Oh man, it's sickening. It is. And then of course, this kind of thing happens all the time. It's ridiculous. But okay, now it is on my mind for various reasons. I've been thinking about doing a video on this for weeks now again, and I even thought I did. I don't know what I did with it. Who knows? I may have even put it up, but I tend to delete some videos. But anyway, somebody else had mentioned was shaming the person who was the e-beggar, and how awful that behavior was. And I don't know who it was. I was very curious who was doing that this time. But I was, I knew the person wasn't going to say the name and all that. But yeah, it was in a little community, not this one. But I really wonder who is doing it now. It's always somebody. So Yeah. Okay, and I've also seen people who use their own health, you know, or some kind of situation, and it can be physical or mental, whatever, and say that's why they need people to give them money. Okay, and what's bad about it is that many people have, like I fell last year, busted both of my knees. I wasn't asking anybody for money, but because of this kind of e-beggar, it feels, you know, awkward to mention it, you know, even though this is part of your life, you know. And if you're doing vlogs, you know, video blogs, or if you're doing a blog, you might feel like, okay, I can't even talk about that because it's going to make me look like them. You see what I'm saying? And yeah, it's like the other day, yesterday I did a video on my original channel about feeling some anxiety because it was almost a panic attack because of medication for my cholesterol and the bad weather, and wouldn't be able to go to the doctor tomorrow because of the bad weather coming today, and, you know, to see my appointment that was for tomorrow, and I'm running out of that cholesterol medication. Got all that. It kind of made me in a panic. What am I going to do? You know, I'm not going to have enough medication, and on like that. But basically, I found out that I do. I had one more prescription, even though the bottle said no more. So, yeah, I'm going to pick that up right now. But it put me in a little, you know, bit of it was anxiety. It wasn't full blown panic attack. And I want to mention that because this is what I'm doing is a vlog, you know, on that channel. So I want to mention what's going on in my life. But I felt that. I felt, you know, some people would say, uh-oh, here she comes. She's going to be e-begging. Because I see one starting up that I think that is the case too. Like I said, too, as in I would think, you know, somebody who's, talking about these things repeatedly is, you know, building up the story. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, but I'm not. No. So, anyway, all this stuff is on my mind. I have several reasons for it, but the ones that really get to me, really seriously, is the ones who sit there and they, like I said, shame, ridicule, guilt. You know, they're subscribers and no bounds with it. Yeah. Okay, I think that's enough for this video, from this topic for now. And in this video, if you want to subscribe to this channel, click the circle. If you want to watch another video on this channel, click those rectangles. Like, subscribe, comment, and share if you would. And I'll talk to you on another video. Bye.